Late. This week we're in the Parshas Va'ayil, which we're going into the whole union of Gulis and Ge'ila, which we spoke last week. It's actually the whole Gulis comes for one purpose, Legalis. Legalis means that without the gulas, you wouldn't recognize, you would be missing out something. That is the whole gulas. To explain it, is a paradigm of the Rebbe said, I met the Rebbe the first time when I got angry. It sounds a little bit funny. We're talking about the Rebbe So how do you meet the Rebbe the first time that you get angry? The first time that I meet the Rebbe is when I got angry. This week is also the Svasemis. Svasemis uses a quote, Udam Leida. Person must know, even when things are going good, he's having a good time, things are quiet, tranquility, wherever you are. Not only things are okay, even I can be connected, I feel myself connected to myself, I feel myself connected to Rabbeinu Shalom. Im kol zeh, לא ישכח ממנו שמיכה מצד עצמו לכל חטא ועולם. You shouldn't forget that any second you might come to the biggest falling down, and that doesn't fall down is be'ezer Hashem Yisborach. Which the whole depth of the Bush which is teaching us is to change the concept of, in order to be the best, we always taught bring out the best of you. Get always the best grades, get always to the best place, which is true. The question is just, how do we get to that best place? Moshe says, Yitzah Shaludem is Gabulav, El Mula K'dish Baruch Oizer Eine Yochaloi. Without the bullshit of Pshat is, a person has the Yitzharim, wherever he goes, there's no such thing without the Yitzharim, as we spoke, there's no such thing of Torah itself, there's always Ra, a person is always set up with two parts, the Yitzhatov and the Yitzharim. But Yitzhak Shudam is Gabel Olav. The Yitzhak is always gets even stronger because the Yitzhak is the closest. The Yitzhak gives answers. The Yitzhak gives me a feeling. The Yitzhak gives me understanding. I live with the Ribbono Shel Olam. As we said, there is no understanding. It's all a minute. It's all believing. It's all. Without understanding, without any feeling, without such, there's no way that I can get through. So, the Mula Kudish Baruch Oizrei Eine Yuchalei. But if I need a Kudish Baruch to help me, so how can a Kudish Baruch help me more? I want to understand. When I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to feel. That means I'm trying to get along on my own. So I'm trying to get along on my own. So, B'china Shom Mizgura. Mizgura means that I'm very arrogant and I want to do it by myself. I said, Ribbono Shel Olam, sit on the side and just let me do things. As we say, don't bother me. But Rusha explained, since Yitzhak Shudam is Gabel Olav, and the Mula Kudish Baruch Oizrei Eine Yuchalei, so in order that you should able to get to the Ribbono Shel Olam, to get the Ribbono Shel Olam help you, you must be in a helpless state. as they call these days, vulnerable. So then I'm looking for help for anyone that can give me help. But as long as I feel that I can help myself, I won't look for anyone outside to give me help. Which that is the reason why Kodesh Baruch Hu brought us to Mitzrayim, actually. The Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh says, Kov el nafshi geula. Every golus that we're in is actually to get to the legalis. Golus and legalis are the same letters. That means without the golus, without being vulnerable, I would have never, legalis, I would never reveal that actually the golus is there to reveal that I must have the Ribbono Shel Olam. The Ribbono Shel Olam is helping me. It's just the difference is that when I have hardships, I see the Ribbono Shel Olam helping me. When I don't have hardships, I'm talking about the Ribbono Shel Olam, but I'm not living the Ribbono Shel Olam. But when a person has hardships, he's living, not feeling, he's living the Ribbono Shel Olam. They say a mushroom that a father went with, goes with a child. They say a mushroom that after 120, they'll show you a whole video, a whole film of your life. And you'll always see there's 4 sets of feet. And one set of feet is yours, and one set of feet is the Ribbono Shel Olam that went along with you everywhere. Suddenly it comes to the hard times, you see that there's only one set of feet, not 2 sets of feet. So the person becomes very nervous, and he asks the Be'ezin Shemala, how come the Ribbono Shel Olam leave me dafka in those hard times? Why didn't he go along with me also in these hard times too? So the answer, the Ribbono Shel Olam will answer him, you have a mistake. When things were going good, you thought, I'm going and you're going. So, as they say, Ruba de Ruba, Seyata de Shmaya. You were talking about me, but you weren't living with me. In the hard times, it's my footsteps. You can go all together. That means a person has to know, as we said, that the theme of the whole Derech of the Bush is Tovli, Ki Imeisi, Laman Elmet Chikechu. Tovli, now I understand what's good in Imeisi when I'm vulnerable, when I'm in pain. Laman Elmet Chikechu. Chikechu means I'm ready to live with you without understanding, without it tasting, without any feelings. Why? That's called chikechu. Chikechu means we have in the Torah mishputim, we have in the Torah chikim. Chikim is without understanding. The only way that I'll come to live with the Ribbono Shel Olam with chikechu, there is no other way, only through inesi. How high the inesi, what volume the inesi should be, that's up to me. That means the more a person doesn't want to hear, so the more he has to be vulnerable in order to hear. But Habuda time is sign that the first time it's here, it's very hard to hear, not to hear that the Ribbono Shel Olam is helping me, but it's hard to accept the point that I'm so vulnerable, I can't even do anything without the Ribbono Shel Olam. The second time is Habuda time is sign that you have hardship. When I start hearing that Messiah, that Yitzhak Shaludam, Misgaber, that is the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That itself, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts the pressure, puts the Yitzhak pressuring me, that is the way that he helps me, that I see it, I cannot do it by my own, and I must rely, and I must let the Ribbono Shel Olam do it. So then I'm actually clear that I'm not the one that's doing it. The parsha and finishes that Lama Oisu Lama Zeh Shalachtuni. Moshe Rabbeinu tells the Ribbono Shel Olam I told you that I cannot go and take out Mitzrayim. I'm stuttering. I have no way how to succeed. And Baruch was telling me all the time, I promise. They're going to listen, Moshe Rabbeinu says, Lo yamin aleinu, going back and forth, till the Han went. At the end of the day, what happened? Parai even gave him a harder time. Tiksha avoido, tichbadis avoido. So then comes along Moshe Rabbeinu says, Lama oisu lama zeh. Why did you send me? Says Rashi, what's your business that Eden became harder to work? He says, Lama zeh shalachtuni. Why did you send me? Says Rashi. That means Moshe Rabbeinu agreed that the Rebbeinu Shalom can take him out. But why do you send me? Here, I made things worse because I knew that if I go, I'm not able to do it completely, that I will think that I'm doing it. So the only way that it could be done is a bunch of you do it without me. So Yotzat also from Yeshua Margalit, an old friend of mine that was in the derech of Rebbe told me that Pshat is that actually HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, Ata Yodatu, from now on, from now on, you'll be able to see that Yitzias Mitzrayim. But the HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't answer him his question. Moshe Rabbeinu asked the question, I see things became worse because I went. So why did you send me? You have a problem to taking out the Ribbono by yourself, or Han? Why did you send me? You see that I cannot do it. So the answers Shua Margaret answered that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu out to Sira. There's a difference if a person says he cannot, or a person sees that he cannot do things. Till now, you were talking about you cannot do things. Well, that's very nice, and you need a bunch of them. But as long as a person didn't come to the stage that he sees he cannot, he's only talking about the bunch of them. But once he comes to a place that he tried and he really sees he cannot succeed, then a person shouldn't get broken then. Know that Kadosh Baruch Hu is helping you to see Atusir. Now you'll be standing in the side and you'll be talking to Parai and showing him that I'm here. Because there is no way that Kadosh Baruch Hu can reveal himself in this world. Only why? Because in this world is Adamcho, Achamcho, V'lo Yedaticho. This world is such a materialist world that Kadosh Baruch Hu sent us Yidden, we're the only ones that Amzi Yotzar Tali, Tilusi Yisaperi, we're the only ones that can say that it's you and really know that it's not me. When does that happen? In good times, everybody says in God we trust. But in hard times, since a Yid is a chelik and a kind of mal, a Yid has this koyach that Avinu Yitzchak Avinu, Yankiv, all the Shiftako gave into us, this koyach, that when you come into hardship, the more you see you cannot, then you start asking a question, who can yes? So then, once you saw that you really cannot, now I can bring the Ge'ilah through you and know that you are not doing, and I'll know that now Moshe Rabbeinu knows that he's not doing anything, everything the Ribbono Shalom is doing. It's the same thing we find in the Torah. Once Tzal set up the whole Mishkan, everything was finished. And they wanted to put it together, and they couldn't even pick up the wood, they couldn't pick up the beams. So they came to Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, Ribbono Shalom, why are you sending him to me? I cannot pick up the beams either. Well, Kadosh Baruch Hu said, that's what I wanted to. I want you to just put your hands on the beams, says Rashi, and I'll pick them up. So actually, why do you need me? Why couldn't Betzal do the same thing? Moshe Rabbeinu was a whole basi Ne'eman he means if you're a trustee of money of other person, and it's a very big sign that I shouldn't think that's mine. I shouldn't think that the other person owes me. I should think that it's b'chlal not mine. I didn't put anything in. Or Buddha said, all I am just like a pipe, just like an empty pipe. That things are going through me, through this pipe. So the Baruch told Moshe Rabbeinu, if I would give to Betzal to put it up, Betzal would even think that he is, even though Baruch is picking it up, as you said before, Ruba de Ruba, Siyata de Shmaya, but I'm doing something too. You, Moshe Rabbeinu, I've known in the past, since you took out Mitzrayim, and who's the one that takes out Mitzrayim? Onoichi Hashem Elokechu, Asher Tzisichom Eretz Mitzrayim. It's only Onoichi that takes you out of Mitzrayim. That means only I'm the only one, there's nobody else there. But I had to bring you into Mitzrayim, says the Baal Shem Tov, because without Mitzrayim, you started having machlokes. The first step of Mitzrayim was machlokes with Yosef, which actually, as long as the person doesn't decide who's working by whom, as long as I think that the Baal Shem is employed by me, then I'm always busy. Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? But once we see that without the Baal Shem, we're in Mitzrayim, and actually he created the world that we should see that Lila Hashem A'zor Sali, without the Kodesh Baruch Hu helping me, Kemat Shochno, Dimu Nafshi, I would come to the lowest place. So then any time that anything that I have, I thank the Ribbono Shel Olam. Not only I thank him, but I know he's doing everything, and I start living with the Ribbono Shel Olam. That's the reason why it doesn't say Onoich Hashem Elokechu Asher Berusa Shamayim V'Uretz Ki Berusa Shamayim V'Uretz. You came here to something finished all together. You walk around the world and yeah, you know there's nobody here, only the Ribbono Shel Olam. You're not going to forget that. But at the end of the day, they wanted a tam v'das. They wanted to toiveru. They want to understand something. And then you start messing up, because if I'm here, might as well understand. Then the tikkun v'chet etzadas, which comes through, going through the whole procedure of 2,000 years till the Sinas HaTorah, till we got to Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim was the final stage of the Cheretz Kodma Torah. You know what is the Cheretz means? I have to respect others. I have to respect the one that gives me the Korach. Who's the one that gives me the Korach? Is the Ribbono Shel Olam. And by Ribbono Shel Olam, I want to respect. It's something much deeper than that, living with him and not taking anything for myself, and knowing that it's all yours. It's amazing when we come to the Sinas HaTorah, Anoich Hashem Elokechu, Kodesh Baruch Hu says, Asher Tzisichom Eretz Mitzrayim. The reason that you're not in Mitzrayim is me that is keeping you afloat, even when you're not listening to me, even when you're doing wrong things, as the Ramak says, Noitza Chesed La'alufim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Korach HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Hashem, Kerachem V'chan, Erech Apayim. What does Erech Apayim mean? That even though I'm doing things not in the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to do, but he keeps on giving me oxygen, keeps on giving me life, keeps on giving me all the panusa, keeps on giving me everything. So what do you need more, stronger, to recognize the Ribbono Shel Olam than that he's an Erech Apayim, for not learning it for myself? So then a person comes to the conclusion that if I would be in Mitzrayim, but I'm not in Mitzrayim, that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave it to me. That means here, that's what happens. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, what is Mishkan? Mishkan is Useli Migdash V'Shochanti B'Soicham. Useli Bayis Kedisha, Rashi says. How do you make that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should come in? He should be the one that's running the show, not me. So he told Moshe Rabbeinu, all you do is with your fingers, as if you're picking up the beans. And then everything that you do in your life, whatever you do at home, you have nachas in the children, you have bechlal children, you have shalichim, or you have to do shalichim. A person is healthy or has to be healthy. It all comes to get him actually to see that he's vulnerable, that if he's healthy, he should be healthy. He has children, he should have children. And panusa, they should have panusa. It's not me that's having the panusa. It's amzi yotzar tali telusia separe, but that will only come through the vulnerability. That's what we started off. That the Busha said the first time I met the Rבינו was actually when I got angry. Why? Because until I didn't get angry, I was sure that I'm such a polite person. I never get angry. Why get angry? Because Baruch has to give you once in a lifetime. It should only be once. They say from President Lincoln, I think. I didn't want the title to make a mistake, but make it only once. That means once a person, once you have a kishul, so if you learn from it, what do I learn from it? I learn from it that I myself lost it. How can I lose it? It must be that that minute, shi'urim is gabel, but you know, I tell you news, that's a Kodesh Baruch Hu Aa'zor. Kodesh Baruch Hu wants to help you. You should be able to see that you cannot hold on. You need me. So then the Mitzrayim, I'm thanking the Rבינו not only for taking me out of Mitzrayim, I'm thanking you also for the Mitzrayim itself. I'm also thanking you. That's what the Sfasem says. Try to look in the Sfasem, these two parshas of Ayru and Boy speaks out very strongly the whole day. Here in the Tufa Islam Aleph, it says, Havtucha, Kodesh Baruch Hu promise you, V'datem ki ani Hashem Elokeichem. I promise you that ani Hashem Elokeichem. I promise you that you'll always know that I'm here. How do I promise you that? Because if I see you're not alert, then suddenly I'll give you a blink, I'll give you such of help that you'll be able to see that I'm here. That is every mitzvah that a person has in Teva and in nature, there's nothing complete. There's always something missing in my thoughts. There's always something missing in my talking. There's always something missing what I'm doing. Nothing, if a person wants to be true with himself, there's always something missing. But that missing doesn't come to bring him to become nervous from that. That comes in to help him to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here. You can see it even in the breathing of a person. He has breath and it takes away the breath. That if a person, we know these days meditation is with breathing, because then it's the strongest place that a person can connect to his vulnerability from one side, from the other side, in Avodas Hashem, he can connect to a place that he doesn't understand how it comes back. He doesn't understand how it works. And he's so lost in that second, but suddenly he comes back. So then he sees there is somebody who's giving me life. To David HaMelech came to Koil HaNeshumu, the Halal Ko, Halalika, that I'll call Neshima v'Neshima, to Halal Ko. That's what this Sfasem says. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises us. You'll know a Yid. There's no such thing that you're not going to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Elokeichem. But how can you know that? That only through Hamoitzi Eschem Eretz Mitzrayim. As long as a person didn't say the Baal Shem Tov, HaKadosh Baruch Hu could have brought us to 40 Sha'arei Timur. Why did you bring us to 49? But if a person would go out after 40 Sha'arei Timur, he would think that he is the one that can take care of himself. Suddenly he sees a 9 Sha'arei Timur, maybe 40, I need the punishment, but there's a 9 that I can get along by my own. Once we went into Mante Sha'arei Timur, and we couldn't hold, and the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if the HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't have taken us out, we were staying there, we would be staying there another second, we would be lost altogether. That means the HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to show me that I am the one that keeps you going, and Chaim adds on, that was up to Nesinas HaTorah only to 49. After Nesinas HaTorah, God forbid, even in near Sharatim, it makes no difference where he is. He'll always come to a point that he'll find himself that he cannot help himself, and that is only there in order to help him to come to Muk and Shabbat Shiva on Ein Tzadikim Gemir Yechoyin Lamed. Says the Sfas Emes, Zeh Tam Kol HaGulas. That is the reason from the whole Gulas Kadesh Yeda Ha'udam. A person should know, Shemitzidoi, from my side, Michon Lias Begulas. If not for Bunshloim, I would have been in Gulas. I'm so vulnerable, I can't take care of myself. I will always be in a stage of Gulas. Every Yid, wherever he is, in what state he is, in Avodas Hashem makes no difference. Chayin Shomati from the Chadisharim. Ki'im hoyo Adam Yedea. If you would have known that how vulnerable Shahakel Ma'Hashem is Borach, Lo hoyo Mestir Lo Klal, then we didn't have to hide it. Why? Kekol HaHester, all that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you and hides from you is only Yid Meshemim Enehi. You should be able to see that everything is from him. So it includes the Sfasem is Mitzvah Udam Leida. Every person has to know. Af Be'ez Rutzen, as we started off. Even things go the way that you understand. Even not only that, Sheeshluk Tzaz Dveikus. I even come to a certain level of being warm with the Baruch Shleilam. Im koze lo yishkach mimeni. Don't forget shemichel mitzad atzmi l'chol chet v'onu. That even though you have everything from the Baruch Shleilam, you have to remember that without the Baruch Shleilam, you're not only zero, you're zero sheba zero. They say a story that was by Chernobyl. The mother of Chernobyl had 7 children. And when it came after the Elisha, they split everything up between the children, and when the Björkenschach Mestifke came along, he saw that everything was split up. So he said, well, I thought I would take the Gurnisht, that the mother of Chernobyl was every time rattle himself to everything. But I see my brother Bianca Yisrael, he took the Gurnisht. It's mir geblieben, I stayed with the Gurnisht Shebegurnisht. That means, what does Gurnisht Shebegurnisht mean? There is a avodas Yisrael. It says, the Divrei says, the Melech says, Tmכו hakoil im yotchu nesanaloch. Tmכו hakoil. I know that everything is from you. I myself obgunished. But not only that everything is from you, but that itself, that I know everything is from you, is also from you. That means nicht nur ich bin gunisht, na du was ich weiß, that I know that alles is gunisht, ich bin auch gunisht, you have to give me all of that. So that is what Jerusalem said. As long as I didn't get angry, I was ready to know that Kadosh Baruch is helping me. But I knew I'm gunisht. But now I see that even to know that, I also need a bunch of them to help me. Kadosh Baruch should help. We should be able to go. All the mitzvahs that Kadosh Baruch is all giving us is all around Yetzias Mitzrayim. Even though Yetzias Mitzrayim is something was for 3,300 years ago, but as long Kavu al Nafshi Geula, says the Baal Shem Tov, as long as we didn't come to the Geula Shleima, there's always a point that we need us here, especially nowadays with all the pchudim that we even have, and all the problems that we have in Kaddish and all sides. The person is there, well, it's not there to make him vulnerable, that he should be lost. It's there for a purpose, that Anoichi Hashem Alekechu Asher Tzisichu Me'etz Mitzrayim. You should see that when he's not in Mitzrayim, it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu helping him. And then I turn over the gulis, I turn over the galus, so nishbeve rachman v'chsulim doivim akol yisur omayim kol tif.